Television or TV is a system for sending moving pictures and sound from one place to another. It is one of the most important and popular forms of communication. So sinasabi nga dito na ang television or TV na tinatawag natin ay isa sa pinakamahalaga at pinaka-popular na form ng komunikasyon na meron tayo. So, sa TV programs ay nagpo-provide sila ng news information, entertainment to people all over the world.
History of television in the Philippines. So, television was introduced in the Philippines in 1953 with the opening of DZHQ TV Channel 3 of Alto Broadcasting System in Manila. The station was owned by, of course, Antonio Quirino, the brother of the incumbent Philippine president who was set to run for re-election the following year. So the station operated on a 4-hour-a-day schedule, yung 6 to 10 p.m. and telecast only over a 50-mile radius. This television station was later bought by the Chronicle Broadcasting Network or yung natawag na CBN, which started operating radio stations in 1956. So, CBN was owned by the, of course, Lopezes. Di ba kilala naman ng mga Lopezes sa nagmamay-ari ng ABS-CBN? So, who were into various business concerns. The acquisition signaled the birth of ABS-CBN Broadcasting Network, now considered one of the major broadcasting companies not only in the Philippines but also in Asia. So hindi lang pala sa Pilipinas sikat tong broadcasting network na to, kundi sa buong Asia. The Lopezes also own the Manila Chronicle. So aside from the broadcasting network na ABS-CBN, sa kanila rin pala yung Manila Chronicle, a leading daily at that time. So ABS-CBN therefore became not only the first radio TV network in the Philippines but also the first cross-media entity owned by a family, a situation which remains until today. Meaning, family business pala yun, yung ABS-CBN na yun, family business. Hindi lang yung isa sa kanila ang nagmamay-ari ng ABS-CBN, bagkus silang pamilya. Sabi niya pa, subsequently, the Lopez Group added a second station, DZXL TV9. Then, by 1960, a third station was in operation, DZBB TV Channel 7 or Republic Broadcasting System, owned by Bob Stewart, a long-time American resident in the Philippines, who also started with radio in 1950. So the first provincial television stations were established in 1968 in Cebu, Bacolod, and Dagupan by ABS-CBN. So the network is supplemented by 20 radio stations located nationwide. Economic constraints during these early years of television forced a dependence on imported programs from 3 U.S. networks, ABC, CBS, and NBC. Importing programs was cheaper than producing them locally. Mas mura pala kapag mag-i-import tayo ng programs na galing sa ibang bansa. So in addition, canned programs appear to be more popular among local audiences, even though initiatives were made in educational programming. The commercial thrust of Philippine broadcasting has made it unique among other East Asian countries, where the electronic media are controlled and operated by the government. So dito sa Pilipinas, di ba, nung panahon ni Marcos, kontrolado ng gobyerno ang media. While this free enterprise environment made local broadcasting globally competitive. So the same environment made it difficult to produce and broadcast public service and development-oriented programs. Philippine television's early dependence on U.S. programs may be partly responsible. So, ang mga pinapanood natin dito sa Pilipinas ay nakadepende sa mga United States programs. Sabi niya dito, partly responsible for colonial mentality that has continued to afflict Filipinos during the past several generations. So, tama nga naman. The commercial orientation of TV also endangered adults' entertainment mentality in both the advertisers and the general public. So, next is the TV in the 90s from local to global. So, according to the 1998 KBP Broadcast Media Factbook, there are 137 television stations nationwide. So, napakadami. Of this number, 63 are originated stations, 50 are relay, and 24 ultra-high frequency stations. So, cable TV is technically not considered part of the broadcast TV industry. So, in terms of TV station distribution by islands groups, Metro Manila has 12 TV stations, Luzon, 53 stations, Visayas, 28 TV stations, and Mindanao, 44 TV stations. Most TV stations are part of the 5 major TV networks. So, nandyan ang ABS-CBN Broadcasting Corporation, Associated Broadcasting Corporation, GMA Network Incorporation, Intercontinental Broadcasting Corporation or IBC, Radio Philippines Network or RPN, and People's Television Network Incorporation. So the biggest networks are ABS-CBN, of course, and GMA Network. So ABS-CBN has 11 originating stations, 14 TV relay stations, and 8 affiliate TV stations, while GMA Network has 2 originating, 40 relays, and 7 affiliate stations. The 1994 Functional Literacy, Education and Mass Media Survey reported that about 45% of the total households nationwide have access to television sets. So, sinasabi nga dito na 45% ng kabahayan sa Pilipinas ay nakakapanood ng television, and that household population aged 10 years old and over are exposed to television, which is about 57%. So, ang mga nakakapanood ng television ay age from 10 years old and above. Satellite and cable technologies have virtually made universal access to broadcast media possible. For example, ABS-CBN television reaches approximately 90%. The network is linked with the Pan-American Satellite o yung tinatawag na PANAMSAT, which provides its program to all cable operators and direct to home markets within the satellite's footprint. Through a cable television system, it can reach Filipino communities in the San Francisco Bay Area of the United States. So, hindi lang pala siya sa Pilipinas. Lahat ng mga Filipino community kahit nasa ibang bansa sila ay nakakapanood ng cable television systems ng Pilipinas. So, similarly, GMA Radio Television Arts Networks reaches the entire country through its 30 stations nationwide. So, napakadami. Tapos, sabi pa niya, Filipinos in Southeast Asia, Hawaii, Guam, Spain, Canada, and the United States can tune in to GMA7 either through mabuhay satellite or cable television system. So, diba, hindi lang pala yung cable television system or yung television ng Pilipinas sa mga Pilipinong nakatira dito lang sa Pilipinas. Bagkus nakakarating na pala siya sa iba't ibang mga bansa. Until recently, UHF television broadcasting was unheard of. Only those who could get access to the Far East network of the U.S. Armed Forces Radio and Television Service, being to the U.S. bases in Clark Air Base and Subic Naval Base, were familiar with the bandwidth. Southern Broadcasting Network or SBN Channel 21 and Molave Broadcasting Network Channel 23 were the first commercial stations to broadcast on the UHF band in mid-1992. So, SBN 21 features global-oriented programs from the World TV, a local VHF channel, while Channel 23 carries MTV programming as received via satellite from Hong Kong Stars TV. Others followed after the initial success of these stations. Bayers Communication Channel 68 became the first paid TV channel, broadcasting TV29, the first home shopping channel. So ito pala yun. And Radio Mindanao Network Channel 31, the first all-movie channel. The two UHF stations are in Baguio City and Cebu City. The most phenomenal growth, however, has been in cable television. The growth of early cable television, introduced in 1969, was stunted during the Marcos regime because of a decree granting exclusive franchise to a business ally of the former president to install and operate cable TV nationwide. This decree was abolished by President Aquino in 1987. So kung mapapansin natin, dito sa Pilipinas, diba, kontrolado ng government yung media. The introduction of satellite programming by TV networks ABS-CBN and GMA in 1991 spurred interest in cable television. Provincial Community Antenna TV Systems or yung tinatawag na CATV have been set up to receive broadcast signals from stations originating in Manila. Metro Manila is now one of the most advanced urban centers in Asia with respect to cable TV, where two major cable systems, Sky Cable and Home Cable, offers 60 channels or more. Ang dami palang channels na ino-offer ng TV or cable TV natin. Hollywood programming. Advertising is broadcasting's lifeblood, which makes stations dependent on ratings for survival. So, di ba nga, may mga ratings ang mga station na yan. Like, di ba ga, nagpapataasan ng rating ang ABS-CBN at GMA. Kung sino yung mas gusto ng mga tao, kung sino yung mas tinatangkilik na station ng mga Pilipino. This commercial orientation of television is evident in its content, where over 50% of total programming consists of musical variety shows, soap operas, and situation comedies. So, di ba? Yung mga station na yan, ano ba yung mga binibigay nila sa atin? Ano ba yung mga napapanood natin sa kanila? Meron mga musical variety shows, soap operas, and situation comedies. Like, di ba sa, may mga napapanood tayong Agimat, Walang Hanggan, yung mga teleserye ng mga Pilipino, at iba't ibang mga pinapalabas sa TV na tinatangkilik nating mga Pilipino, kaya tumataas yung rating nila or ng isang station. There is a larger percentage of domestic over imported programs. although the theme and format of most local production are modeled on Western programs. So, di ba meron tayong tinatawag na adaptation? So, parang ganun siya. Limbawa, pinalabas na siya sa ibang bansa, nagawa na siya, yung kwentong yun, pero ina-adapt lang natin siya. Pero yung kwento, same pa rin. Like the Philippine adaptation of Descendant of the Sun, na pinagbidahan ni Sun Joong-ki at Song Hye-kyo. So next, television programming is oriented toward urban interests, and many provincial stations function merely as replay or relay stations. A few produce their own local programs, but this is constrained by prohibitive production costs. Even the strengthening of TV signals has not reduced the one-way traffic of images from the urban to the rural areas. Even the strengthening of TV signals has not reduced the one-way traffic of images from the urban to the rural areas. The consequences in terms of homogenization of urban values and lifestyles and the erosion of traditional values in the countryside are bewailed by social critics who blame the media as one of the forces contributing to social violence. So kasi nga may mga napapanood sa TV or may mga pinapalabas sa media na may mga violence na posibleng ma-adapt nung viewers. The prevailing emphasis on trivia and entertainment takes away airtime that could be allocated to development issues. Equally serious is the little support given to the concerns of marginalized sectors, women, youth, cultural communities, rural and urban poor, peasants, and others. These sectors are given prime-time treatment if they are subjects of sensational reports focusing on them as victims of violence and calamities. Otherwise, their voices on critical national and local issues are seldom heard. Commercial television and developmental programming. While broadcasting codes state that stations should include public affairs and other developmental formats, current programming focuses primarily on hard stories, highlighting power plays, competition, and violence. Over the past few years, the broadcast industry has displayed sensitivity to growing public criticism for its lopsided programming, and there has been a discernible increase in public affairs programming, other than news programs, which has recently gained public following. Some of these programs won international recognition, such as the Probe Team and the Now of the Earring Fire Line. These programs in various formats, straight talk shows, new magazines, documentaries, are however packaged for limited viewership because they use English language. In general, Filipino, the national language, is used in entertainment programs lang, giving rise to false perception that Filipino cannot be a language for intellectual discourse. Kasi nga diba, kahit naman noon pa lang, iniisip na nating mga Pilipino na kapag magaling kang mag-English, fluent kang magsalita ng English, matalino ka. So next, the public service programs are still quite popular. Some video and television programs show the needy being given medical and other forms of social assistance. Opportunities for the public to seek redress for grievances through television is now available. So although still on a limited basis, these programs are now among the popular programs aired during late afternoon and evening prime time. Ito ay ang Hoy Gising and Isumbong Mo Kay Tulfo. World-class educational children's programs are made possible through Philippine Children's Television Foundation or yung tinatawag na PCTVF. and ABS-CBN Foundation. So PCTVF produces the award-winning Atibot, while ABS-CBN produces Sineskwela. So ang Sineskwela is a school on the air on science for elementary students which has been aired since 1994. Then, Hiraya Manawari, a values-oriented program, Bayani, o about sa mga heroism and heritage, and Math Tinik, the mathematics for primary and intermediate pupils. The People's Television Network Incorporation is a major co-sponsor of continuing education program for science teachers via television, which broadcast 3 telecourses for teachers, elementary science, chemistry, and physics. The government TV network also airs a distance education course for teachers pursuing graduate education. The self-regulatory framework. The broadcast industry operates under the principle of self-regulation. The Kapisanan ng mga Broadcasters sa Pilipinas, or the National Association of Broadcasters of the Philippines, o ang tinatawag na KBP, organized in 1973, provides the framework for self-regulation through its radio and television codes. The Department of Transportation and Communication and the National Telecommunication Commission of the government recognize the self-regulatory principle of the KBP to police its members on matters relating to the enforcement of broadcast rules and regulations. So the KBP serves as the voice of the broadcast industry in policy matters, government regulation, and in the establishment of acceptable industry practices. Among its mission and goals are elevating the standards of the broadcast media, promoting and upholding constitutional freedoms, developing media for positive social change, establishing guidelines and standards with industry partners, and promoting a stable competitive environment for the broadcast industry. The KBP Television Code sets program standards for news, public affairs and commentaries, political broadcasts, children's and religious programming, and television advertising. It also set guidelines on the cover of sex, obscenity, and violence. The code promotes social and economic enhancement for the people, and it encourages broadcast stations to promote nationalism and to produce, schedule, and air, preferably during prime time, their own developmental message. A similar code was adopted for radio station members. Both codes are regularly reviewed and updated. Kung mapapansin natin, di ba meron tayong tinatawag na MTRCB na lumalabas kapag papanood natin or bago natin mapanood yung isang program or isang storya sa TV. Ang tawag sa MTRCB ay Movie and Television Review and Classification Board. So doon sinasabi niya na kung kailangan ng patnubay at gabay na magulang kapag may manonood na bata. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya angkop or hindi pa kaya ng thinking capacity ng bata na maintindihan yung isang program or yung isang entertainment or palabas sa TV. Meanwhile, there are some issues with the KBP must continue to address. One of them is the plan of the Movie and Television Review and Classification Board. Yun nga yung sasabi ko kanina, yung MTRCB, to collect reviews fees for new and replayed programs on TV, which it opposes. Another is KBP's desire for the political and ad ban to be lifted and its position to cable TV watch. The future of TV or television. Competition and technology revolution are among the most certain things to happen in the TV industry. There will be stiffer competition not only among the
VHF or yung tatawag na UHF station but with the so-called new media, particularly cable station, direct broadcast satellite or yung DBS, and of course, internet. Cable TV will affect regular free TV in terms of audience and advertising revenues, while free TV channels are available in cable TV stations. There is an increasing number of cable TV subscribers nationwide. Considering the far too many regular TV stations already competing for a dwindling advertising pie, the entry of cable TV further reduces the pie. Competition with DBS and internet is not yet fully felt as subscriptions to this new media are still limited. So, hindi naman maiiwasan yung magkaroon ng competition or yung nagtatalo-talo sila kasi nga, kailangan din nilang kumita. Parang sinasabing it's a business pa rin kasi pag nawala ka or pag hindi ka na tinatangkilik ng mga tao, wala ka nang ipang susuport para mag-improve pa yung isang media or yung isang station. But experiences from advanced countries also show that the introduction of cable TV, internet, and DBS has not significantly affected number of free TV viewers nor the number of hours spent on watching TV. Changes in programming, more local programs, and technology have made TV competitive. So, di ba napapansin natin, may mga kumikita dahil sa mga nanonood sa kanila. Yun yung isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit nagkakaroon ng competition. Digitalization will revolutionize the television industry. Digital technology introduces high-definition television, yung natawag natin ng HDTV, and allow broadcaster to integrate into one as many as 6 analog channels. The number of TV channels will be almost limitless. It will also make TV programming accessible to computers or what is called CompuViewing. Some predict that PC is the future of broadcasting. So napapansin naman na natin ngayon, di ba? Na dahil sa internet, napapabilis na malaman ng kung sino, mga tao, or ng mga manonood yung nangyayari sa isang lugar, yung mga programa na meron sa isang stasyon. Kaya siguro sinasabi, the future of the broadcasting, ang isang computer. And isa pang dahilan pa dito, mostly, or halos lahat ng mga Pilipino, or ng mga manonood ay involved na, or nakaka-adapt na ng technology, meron ng mga gadgets, marunong mag-gamit ng social media. Digital system will result not only in clearer and better signals but also allow for convergence in technology, broadcasting, cable, telecommunication, and computer services. Thus, on the same monitor, the media user can watch TV or movie, send email messages, perform banking transactions, listen to quality music, publish an e-newsletter, buy groceries, video conference, to name a few. So, sinasabi lang dito na lahat ng mga kailangan ng isang tao ay meron na sa isang gadget, sa computer, or sa cellphone. Diba? Pwede ka nang makabili ng mga bagay na gusto mo through an application like Lazada and Shopee. Magkaroon ng update sa weather. Kasi may mga pinopost naman sa social media like sa Facebook, yung mga weather updates tungkol sa mga bagyo at sa iba't ibang sakuna. So through Facebook, Messenger, pwedeng makausap mo not personally yung isang tao. Or pwede ka mag-send ng email